What's good, everyone? It's Matarochi, back here with another What If. And this What If is actually going to be what you will have been waiting for and requesting since a good couple weeks ago. So, I do want to say that I am very, very sorry, but a whole lot of stuff has come up, so yeah. Plus, school has been a fucking nightmare for me. Or yeah, it school's just been a whole nightmare, whole load of issues for me. But yeah, nonetheless, let's. I guess we should get into it. I can't fully remember what happened in danmachi, but I do remember some of the more like I do remember like the beginning of the show, sorta. So So basically, what happened was, or where we left off, Freya, or not Freya, Hestia and Belle, they were like, wait, what? As Deku basically said, what? Do you want to scale or not, Belle? As, as Belle goes, wait, you can do that? As Deku, he just kind of smiles, with a very wicked grin. And basically, same all for one type of grin. As he just goes, yes, yes, I can. It's all about if you want to. I'm not gonna force you to have one. If you want a skill, just tell me and I'll give it to you. As Belle's like, alright, do you have anything that can boost my strength or anything? As as Belle says that, Deku's like, yes, I have just the right ability for you. I have a I have a power that's just fine for you. It's perfect. Here. The ability is called One for All. As Belle, he kind of questioned. He's like, wait, isn't that the name of your skill? As Deku, he's like, no, kid. My power is called All for One. It's the opposite to yours. Like yin and yang. Actually, guys, hold on. Some I want to add in. I am changing up how All for One and One for All work. Because instead of like the manga, it won't be created by All for One. It'll just be created by All for One's little brother. Like, All for One won't give his little brother any quirk. So, basically, he already had that quirk. And boom, All for One was made. But with that being said, like, one of the main problems of One for All and All for One is when their powers are fully activated, they can't touch. Like, it's almost like putting two magnets next to each other. They're not going to be able to touch each other. You can push all you want, but they're not going to touch. That's how Deku and Belle are going to act. Like, yeah, like basically if they try to hit each other or anything, it won't touch. Plus, they can infuse their weapons and whatnot with One for All or All for One. Like with the energy from All for One. And and basically what happens is, like, after Deku explains that, Belle's like, I think I could do a pretty decent job with that power. As Hestia is like, well, I have to go to this little, god meeting today, so I'll see you all later. As, no, Deku and Belle, They both say, alright, bye, goddess, and she leaves as Deku turns to Bell and he just goes, hey, wanna go to the dungeon? As Bell looks at him and he starts smiling and he says, yeah, let's go to the dungeon. This is gonna be fun. And like the entire time they're there, Bell and Deku have just been absolutely decimating through people. Because Bell can hold up to about like 50% of one for all. So they're making it pretty far down. They're making it pretty far down into the dungeon. So what's been happening is they've been seeing a whole lot more monsters, and they actually end up like decimating through them. And like as they as like the Hest or not as Bell and Deku are done going through, like just demolishing through all of the what's it called, the monsters and everything, they're like, all right, well, Bell, let's head back up. As he goes, yes, let's go, master. And they start walking and whatnot. And as they're going up, and as they leave, they're like, so, Bell, want to go get something to eat? As Bell's like, yeah, sure. And no, they walk into that same tavern, that same little like food restaurant or whatever it was called. I can't remember the name of it at the moment. And they get their food given to them by, I think her name was Mama Mia in the show. Yeah, Mama Mia. They get their food from her and everything. They're eating, and in walks in the Loki Familia. And before you all are, and before you guys ask, the little party that's already over. So now the Loki Familia and Loki, they're just going to the restaurant to get some food, because all Loki had was just alcohol, while the rest of the Familia, they couldn't go with her to the party, so they didn't really do much. So now they're like, all right, yeah, let's all eat some type of food, because I can tell we're all kind of tired out. And while that happens, like, they're all talking and whatnot, and I think his name was Bet or something like that. Basically, that little gray wolf dude, like half human wolf guy, or as I would call it, Bakugo's reincarnation. But basically, what ends up happening is like when they walk in everything and they're eating and everything, Bet or some, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Bet, Bate. So I think it's just Bet. So he starts talking a whole lot of crap, and he's like, oh wait, hey Ainz, uh tell them the story about that kid who you saved in the dungeon. That kid with all the blood on him. He must have looked like such a big idiot. And he's making fun of Belle. And before you all wonder why didn't Ainz say that, she didn't do it, they never gave her a chance, because, like I said in the first episode, she left and she only had a little bit of blood on her. So when she got to her Familia, all they thought, alright, yeah, that's her. That's some monster blood. they never thought that she didn't kill it, because she's one of the strongest people there. So they're like, yeah, it's fine. She killed it, and just kind of left it at that. And while that's happening, like while they're all making fun of Belle, Deku, he's getting kind of aggravated, so he decides to stand up and just kind of he decides to stand up and just kind of look at, well, not look, but like walk over to where the Loki Familia is sitting. But as he's walking over, he's giving off this like demon like aura, and it's weird how his aura looks, because I'm giving Deku a whole lot of powers from other anime just to add to his OP-ness, or just his overpowered strength. And, you know, Deku walks up to the dog, Bet. Once again, correct me if I'm wrong on how his name is spelled or pronounced. Some stuck in my throat, my bad. But yeah, he walks up to Bet. He touches his shoulder, squeezes it a little, causing a little bit of pain. Bet turns, he's like, what the? And looks at Deku, and Deku's just kind of looking down at him like, I didn't know dogs could speak. As, you know, some of the people in the place start laughing at Bet, because, you know, he just got called a dog. And Bet's like, who do you think you're talking to? I'm a level 2, or, yeah, I think it's like a level 2 or 3. He's like, yeah, I'm a level 3. I'll end you. As Deku just looks at him again, he just goes, silence, mutt. I wasn't done talking to you yet. As they're all like, oh crap. Like the Loki Familia are like, oh no, he's about to get whooped by Bet. Alright. While everyone else, they're just laughing. Even Belle. Belle is laughing at this dude. So what ends up happening is, no, like, Bet goes to throw a punch at Deku. Deku just grabs his hand and then just, like, full power, just tosses him out the building through the wall. As Deku pulls out a couple platinum coins, tosses them to Mamma Mia, and says, yeah, this should pay for the expenses. I'm sorry. As Mamma Mia, she's like, oh, no, no problem, child. He was annoying. If you didn't do it, I was going to. As Deku kind of smiles, and he's like, alright, well, I'll dispose of him. Why is there something stuck in my throat today? Come on. But while all that's happening, like, Bell is kind of thinking to himself, he's like, this is getting kind of out of control. I should probably stop this. And Bell tries to go and stop Deku, but Deku just kind of looks at Bell and he just goes, Bell, don't interfere. This will not turn out good for you if you interfere. Remember, you're not done with your training yet, so you're still a little tired. And you can't beat me in a fight. So, Bell, don't try it. As Bell immediately goes back into the tavern. He sits down and he orders another plate to eat, because he's like, yep, no, I'm not about to fight him. That's like begging for death. I'm not about to fight this dude. So, after Bet gets, flung out the establishment, the Loki Familia, they all stand up and they're kind of walking out. They're like kind of jogging outside, I guess you could call it, because they're not full sprinting, but at the same time they're not walking either. But yeah, everyone comes outside. Bell is still inside eating, because he just has a fear of Deku like that when it comes to certain things. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not about to try and test his tolerance, because he may just kill me. So what Deku, like, everyone comes outside and they see Deku just like standing over Bet, and Bet is just all types of just, he's pummeled. That dude got absolutely pummeled into the ground. Like, it was almost just terrifying how he did this dude. And they're like, holy crap, he beat Bet. He's a level 3. As Ainz, seeing how she was the last one to walk out, she walks out, she sees Deku, and she actually starts smiling. Yes, I know it's not like how Ainz would in the show, but my own what if. If you don't like it, click off. I don't really care. But Ainz starts smiling with a very sinister smile. Well, not sinister, but like a very happy smile, as she pulls out her sword and she runs and she rushes at Deku. And Deku, having so many quirks or so many skills, he just simply dodges out of the way. Just kind of almost like Ultra Instinct, but it's not Ultra Instinct. He's just kind of bobbing and weaving out of the way without a single care in the world. Just like, yeah, you can keep trying, but you're not going to get anywhere. As she's like, shut up. I'll beat you one day. As he just goes, yeah, one day. As he just chops her on the neck and she falls unconscious. So Deku just picks her up and starts to walk away. Like he's like, Belle, come on. After he picks up Ainz and starts to walk away. Loki, actually, she runs up to him and she's like, hey, you can't, one, beat on one of my members, and two, you can't take one of my members without my say so. As Deku just looks at her and he's like, and all she sees is just this monster. As Deku just says, I'm sorry. Were you saying something, miss? And she's like, d- d- don't you know who I am? I'm Loki. As Deku just looks at her and goes, no, you don't ring a bell to me. And everyone's surprised. They're like, he doesn't know who the Bell Familia is? No wonder he's so crazy. As, you know, as all of a sudden, Loki starts to float as well. And Deku, he has a little grin on his face. And he's like, but now that I think about it, I don't really know who you are, but you are kind of cute. So, I'm taking you. As, Loki, she's blushing and whatnot. She's like, wait, what? No, you can't do this to me. And no, everyone else, they're gonna try to pitch in, but they see the same thing that Loki did, as they immediately back up. They're like, yep, nope, sorry, Loki, you're about to get taken. As as Deku walks off with her hollering and screaming, Belle just kind of calmly walking like this is okay, and Ainz being carried by Deku back to their Familia. And eventually, like, and they make it there, and like, alright, yeah, I'm back. So basically, Deku and Belle, they walk home, and, well, Deku, Belle, Loki, and Ainz all going to Hestia's place, and as they're going there, like, Loki is just kicking and screaming, and it's honestly funny to Deku. Like, basically, how do I put it? Like, basically, Loki is just kind of kicking and screaming like a child, because she's like, I'm a god, you can't do this to me, and this, and that, and this, and just saying a whole lot of stuff. Meanwhile, Deku in his mind, he's kind of chuckling to himself, and he's like, this is actually kind of cute. I almost want to keep annoying her just so she keeps acting like this. But eventually, you know, eventually they all go home and everything, and And like when they do make it home, they walk in. Hestia is there, and no, when they look at Hestia, they're all like, "What the heck?" Like they look at Hestia. Hestia turns. She's like, "Oh, you all are back. Why are they here?" As Deku's like, "Well, I'm training this one that I'm carrying right now. I'm training her, and the other one, I just like her, so we're keeping her." As when Loki hears like, she starts kind of fuming. Well, not fuming with rage, but giving off a whole lot of smoke out of like embarrassment. Like she's just starting to get a very warm temperature. And Deku using his telekinesis, which he was using to hold Loki, he floats Loki over to his room, opens the door to his room, puts her on the bed, and then just wraps her up in a blanket and then just closes the door. As he grabs, or as Ainz starts to wake up a little while Deku's carrying her again, because now they're going back to the dungeon for the last time today, or for the last time for this day. They're going to the dungeon, and most of the time they're just being kind of calm, not doing a whole lot. Or, yeah, on their way to the dungeon, they're calm, not really doing all much. And now she wakes up, she's like, "Wait, why am I here?" As Deku goes, "Oh, shush, I'm training you." As she's like, "Wait, you're training me? But I'm a higher level than you. I'm a level 7." As Deku looks at her and he just goes, "I'm a level infinite. No one's above me." As eventually, like, after hearing that, she's like, "How do you have such a high ranking number?" And, like, Deku just goes, "It's not a number. It's basically, I became so strong and so powerful that there was no number for me. So it was just infinite." And they're like, as Nobella hears that, and he's like, "Oh my god, he's too strong. This dude's like a walking tank. Is there anything that can actually hurt this dude?" And as Bell says that, Deku stubs his toe, and he's like, why does this hurt so much?" As Bell just looks with a blank stare, and he's like, "I guess there is something that can hurt him. Alright." And just kind of, like, Ein starts